I've always been very focused. CrossFit's got a sort of great blend of competitiveness. I'm a bit of a sucker for suffering. It's a sport that you have to try hard in. I love to try really hard. I love to push myself physically, and I love to challenge myself to do new things. I really think it gives me balance. It really allows me to switch off from work. I always loved the taste of food, so when I went to university I tried hard to cook a bit, but my skills and knowledge were not at all great at that point. When the passion really kicked off was straight after university, when I went to New Zealand with my brother, and he sort of invited me out and said that there was another position going at the lodge he was going to be doing sort of a maintenance role in. We were going to do that same job, but during our interview process, the boss that we had out there said, I need a cook. Do either of you cook? And Will sort of said, yeah, Alf cooks. But it also gave me the chance to experiment with a few things. It was by no means like a traditional culinary school background. My skills grew with my passion. It sort of, I don't know, itched that creativity bug which I had. CrossFit and cooking, it's the difference in them that gives me so much. Where their similarities lie is in that they both give me balance. But yeah, love it. And the sort of full schedule is something I really love and thrive on. The kitchen cultures are tough. When I was working in fine dining, I found the shouting and that lack of teamwork meant that I was completely out of sorts. I really felt like it was taking away who I was. I don't necessarily believe that the brigade system is one for the future. I don't really believe that shouting people down in any form, like not just our industry, not just the catering industry, in any form is the right way to do it. When you go through a system like that, it can be worn like a badge of honour. You know, you've survived it, now you're at the top. And you give it to the next person because you're thinking, oh, well, look at me now. I've got all these accolades. I've got 3 Michelin stars. So in that sense, it's not necessarily the personalities that are doing anything wrong. It's like actually a broken system. It certainly showed me that I wouldn't want to run a team like that. Earth to Oven is my business. I founded it nearly 6 years ago now. There's one founding principle to Earth to Oven, and that was to make a positive impact through food. And despite a challenging start, we are still here today doing it, so there you go. The first time we took the trailer out after all the work of building up and getting everything together, and it was months and months of preparation really, and hard work. We were driving down the A3 and the trailer flipped on the side of the road. The roof came off. It was as close to a write-off as it could possibly be, which obviously at the time was completely devastating. It was my whole life sort of strewn over the motorway. The decision was that I was going to take a gazebo down to the pitch which we were going to take the trailer to and serve food from there. No one was drawn to this green gazebo that looked completely amateur. It was so frustrating to go down and sell absolutely fuck all. It was nothing. One story that adds insult to the injury was there was a few times where I was mistaken for a student on their gap year helping his mum to do something, you know, and it felt like a punch in my gut, you know? It felt tough. The big thing was actually the return of the trailer. What we did get with the South Sea Seafront was a free pitch at Victoria's Festival. I had some good friends in the industry by that point. They had said to me, oh, you're going to Victoria's, you're going to need to prepare more food, like make sure you bring capacity. And I was kind of like, oh, yeah, right then, yeah. So thinking, no one's going to want to buy my food like that. If you see me down at the South Sea Seafront, like no one wants it. I did what I thought was extremely courageous, and I was like, oh, I'm going to lose so much money, because I'd prepared something like 300 units for the weekend, which to me was like, oh my God, how are we going to do this, you know? And that first Friday was just complete mayhem. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, oh my God, there's a queue, you know, like this is amazing. And I remember calling my accountant, James, and being like, James, I need a pass to Booker's. We're screwed, got nothing left. He just burst out of laughing and said, it's a good problem to have. And I remember me and Will running around 24-hour Tesco at 2 a.m, sort of shoving things in the trolley so I could make teriyaki mayo, and having so much positive feedback and interacting with so many people who were saying like what a joy it was to have our food at this festival. I knew that I just had to put Earth to Oven in the right place. We've got a very small team now at Earth to Oven, and I plan to build individuals up into a really, really high functioning team that is built on learning together, not afraid to fail, and moving forward together, learning from our failures together. And I'll be learning as well, you know? Like we'll all be learning together. And if someone comes to me and said, I don't like what you said, or I don't know, I've got this idea for how you run the team, maybe you should execute this, then I am all ears. I'd love to know, because I'd love to be better if I can. At the moment, we use seasonal and local as our guiding principle for ethical food. The next step in ethical food for us will be completely zero waste. And I don't mean just food waste. I mean like there will be no general waste bin. We will not be producing general waste. Our only form of waste will be composting. And that in itself is not waste. It's a regenerative cycle. Zero waste has been done by Silo and Doug McMaster, who's the GOAT of zero waste. Very inspirational human being who I first read about zero waste by Doug McMaster, and I just thought, this is the future. Because there's no rubbish bin in the jungle, as Doug McMaster says, you know, there's no chance. Nature does not produce waste, it's us that have started producing waste, and it's almost like the foundation of everything that is unsustainable about our food system. So if we cut that out, we'll be making huge inroads into producing a sustainable food system for generations to come. Zero waste is really actionable. Like there's no excuse. We will have to completely redefine our systems and how we go about them. We can't use plastic bottles, for instance. We're really ambitious to achieve this. I want to evolve Earth to Oven more. I want to make a bigger positive impact through food with Earth to Oven, and that's just always going to be the case. I don't know how that will materialise exactly. I really feel like Earth to Oven is just the beginning.